Okay, so picture this with me for a second. Like a small bakery, right? Family run. In a cute little German town, you know the kind, where you can smell the fresh bread from down the street.
Yeah, I can practically smell it now.
Now imagine that bakery, same one, using AI, like to know exactly what pastries people are going to want each morning.
Okay, getting futuristic now.
Right. Feels a bit like a sci-fi movie, but honestly, this is becoming the reality for a lot of German businesses, and that's what we're diving into today. German SMEs, small to mid-size, the backbone of their economy, and how they're using AI not just as a flashy tech thing, but to actually compete on a global scale.
It's a side of Germany you don't always hear about, right?
Exactly. We tend to think Germany, okay, high-tech manufacturing, fancy cars, big names like
Siemens, Bosch, yeah.
exactly. But this deep dive, it's about all those other companies, the ones who might be struggling a bit right now, pandemic hangover, inflation.
Energy costs are no joke either.
Tell me about it. And credit's harder to come by these days, too. So you'd think, why are we even talking about AI in the middle of all
Well,
this?
it's because AI might be one of the best tools they have to deal with those exact problems.
Okay, so not a distraction, but a solution.
Think of it like this. AI isn't some luxury just for the big tech companies anymore. It's becoming more accessible. And for these smaller companies, it's a way to get ahead, to be more efficient, more adaptable.
So it's less about robots taking over and more about, what, working smarter.
Exactly. And the numbers back this up. We dug into a bunch of research for this, academic studies, government reports, case studies, and there's this interesting gap, like the potential for AI in these companies. Huge. But the actual number using it,
Not as big, I'm guessing.
way smaller. We're talking only about 21% are really integrating AI across different parts of their business.
21%, so that means there's a lot of untapped potential there.
A massive amount. And for those companies willing to take the leap, the benefits could be game-changing.
Okay, so let's say you're a business owner listening to this. Maybe you're skeptical or haven't had time to think about AI. What's the quick pitch? What's the so what for my business?
So what? It boils down to two main things: efficiency and then totally new possibilities. And honestly, those two things are related, right?
Oh, absolutely. You got to be efficient just to stay in the game these days.
Exactly. Imagine you're a manufacturer and your material costs just keep going up.
Nightmare scenario right now.
Right. AI can analyze your production, see where you're maybe overusing materials, and help you cut waste, save money, and become more profitable.
Okay, so that's doing things better, but you also said something about new things.
Right. AI can also help businesses create entirely new products and services they never even considered before. It's about using data in new and creative ways to solve problems.
Okay, now I need an example because that sounds pretty abstract. What does that look like in the real world?
Okay, so there's this company, Harding Technology Group. They make industrial connectors, and they're using AI in a really cool way.
Industrial connectors. So we're talking what? The things that let machines communicate with each other.
Exactly. Think like robots, data centers, even those massive wind turbines you see. Those all need specialized connectors to function.
Okay, so pretty essential stuff. What are they doing with AI?
So they're using a type of AI called machine learning to analyze data from sensors on their machines.
Sensors, like those Internet of Things devices everyone's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And by analyzing that data, their AI can actually predict when a machine is likely to fail.
Wait, so they can see the future of their equipment? That's incredible.
In a way, yeah. And by predicting those failures, they can do maintenance before anything breaks, which means less downtime, fewer disruptions to production, and ultimately that translates to big cost savings.
That's amazing. They're basically getting ahead of problems before they even happen.
That's the power of AI.
Okay, so that's Harding, and they're already in a pretty high-tech field. What about companies in like more traditional industries? Are they getting in on this AI action too?
Oh, absolutely. And that's what makes this so interesting. It's not just about high-tech manufacturing or software. We're seeing AI pop up in the most unexpected places.
Unexpected places, like what? Give me some examples.
All right, so get this. There's this company, Turbulent, and they're using AI to totally change the hydropower game.
Hydropower, like water wheels and dams, that's about as old school as it gets. How does AI even fit in there?
Right. You wouldn't think so, but they're using it in a super innovative way.
Hmm.
They've developed this AI system that optimizes how much energy hydropower plants can produce.
So squeezing every last watt out of the water.
Exactly. It's all about efficiency, making sure no potential energy is going to waste, and it's all thanks to AI algorithms.
Clever. So they're taking something as old as, well, water and making it cutting edge. What kind of impact is that having on the renewable energy sector?
Oh, it's a big deal. This little company from Belgium, not even in Germany, is now partnering with major energy players all over Europe, thanks to their AI solution.
Wow, so they're punching way above their weight class.
For sure. And, that's what's so cool about this whole thing. These smaller companies, they're not just catching up, they're coming up with these groundbreaking ideas.
I love it. It's like a David versus Goliath kind of thing. But so far, we've mainly talked about AI making existing processes better, more efficient. What about completely new stuff? Are German SMEs using AI to create totally new products or
Oh,
services?
absolutely. One example that blew my mind was this company, ServiceMeister. They're using AI to build a whole ecosystem for technical services.
Technical service? Okay, now you have to elaborate on that because I have no idea what that means in this context.
Think about your local repair shop, the one you go to when your washing machine breaks down, or you need your bike fixed.
Yeah, I know the type.
So ServiceMeister, they're using AI to give those repair shops superpowers.
Superpowers, how so?
Their AI can diagnose problems with incredible accuracy.
Hmm.
It can order parts instantly, even predict future maintenance needs before you even know something is wrong.
Wait, so like a crystal ball for your appliances?
Exactly. And it's not just for appliances. It can work for all sorts of technical services. It's a game changer for businesses and customers alike.
That's really cool. But let's be real for a second. All of this sounds amazing. But implementing new technology, especially something as complex as AI, it's got to be a headache, right?
Mhm.
What are some of the challenges these German SMEs are facing when it comes to actually using AI?
Oh, you're definitely right about that. It's not always smooth sailing. One of the biggest hurdles is the skills gap. A
Hmm.
lot of these companies, they just don't have people in-house who know how to build and use AI systems.
Because you can't just buy AI off the shelf like a new coffee machine, right? You need some serious know-how to make it work.
Exactly. And then there's the whole data thing. AI, it lives and breathes data, and getting the right data, organizing it, making sure it's good quality, that could be a huge undertaking, especially for smaller companies.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's not as simple as just plugging in a robot and saying go. There's a lot involved.
Exactly. And then on top of all that, there are all these legal and ethical questions around AI, especially when you're dealing with data privacy and all that. It's a lot for a small company to navigate.
It sounds like a bit of a tightrope walk, honestly, trying to balance the potential benefits of AI with all these challenges. So, are these companies just left to figure it out on their own?
Well, the good news is that they're not alone. The German government is actually doing a lot to support SMEs in adopting AI.
Okay, good to know. What kind of support are we talking about here?
Well, for one, they're putting their money where their mouth is. There are grants, tax breaks, all sorts of financial incentives to help SMEs invest in AI projects. But it's not just about the money. They're also trying to address that skills gap we talked about.
Right, because funding is great, but you also need people who know what to do with it.
Exactly. They have programs where they connect SMEs with AI experts who can provide training and guidance. And they're putting a lot of resources into education and upskilling programs to prepare the workforce for these AI-powered jobs.
That's really encouraging to hear. It sounds like they're taking a holistic approach, addressing both the technical and the human side of AI adoption. But even with all this support, I imagine there are still some SMEs who are a bit hesitant, maybe even afraid of getting left behind if they don't jump on the AI bandwagon right now. Is there a risk of that happening?
Yeah, it's a valid concern. And the research does point to a risk of some companies falling behind if they don't adapt. We're talking about a global market that's becoming more and more digital, more reliant on data and AI. And if companies don't keep up, they could lose their competitive edge.
It's adapt or die, basically. And when you think about it, this isn't just about companies, it's about the future of work as a whole. Are we headed towards a future where robots replace human workers on a massive scale?
It's a question a lot of people are asking, but I don't think it's as simple as robots taking over. I see it more as an evolution of work. AI is going to change how we work, but it's not necessarily about replacement. It's about humans and machines working together, each playing to their strengths.
So, a future where humans and AI collaborate. That's a much more optimistic outlook.
Definitely. It's about seeing this shift as an opportunity for people to learn new skills, to
Mhm.
focus on more creative and strategic work, and to be in the driver's seat as we shape the future of work.
That's a great point. It's not about feeling the technology, but about understanding its potential and using it to create a better future for everyone.
Exactly.
It's a lot to wrap your head around. But hey, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the potential of AI for German SMEs, the challenges. Sounds like the government's really trying to make this happen, which is cool, but I'm sure it's still a bit daunting for some of these businesses. What happens if they just don't?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the studies we looked at, there's definitely a warning there. Like, imagine this global market, right? Getting faster, more competitive all the time, and data is king. If companies aren't using AI to keep up, to analyze that data, well,
They fall behind.
big time. They might struggle to keep up with demand. Their competitors eat their lunch. Maybe they can't even find skilled workers because those folks want to be where the AI action is.
It's like that saying, adapt or die, but in a business sense.
Exactly. And it makes you think bigger picture, too. We always hear about AI and jobs, and yeah, some jobs will change, but
People freak out about robots taking over.
for sure. But the way I see it, it's not about replacement. It's about up-leveling, maybe. Well,
Yeah.
AI takes care of the boring, repetitive stuff, the things nobody really wants to do anyway.
Freeing up humans for more interesting work.
Exactly. Think creativity, strategy, problem solving. Those skills become even more valuable. And those are things AI is not so great at least not yet.
So it's not humans versus robots. It's more like
Ah,
we're on the same team, just playing different positions.
I like that. And it means we have to get better at working with AI, understanding its strengths, and also knowing what we bring to the table that's uniquely human.
And that means learning new things, being adaptable, which is good advice no matter what field you're in, right? 100%. This tech stuff, it moves fast. And being open to learning, to evolving your skills, that's key.
It's like we always say on the show, curiosity is your superpower.
Yeah.
So whether you're a bakery owner in Bavaria or a tech whiz in Berlin, this AI wave, it's coming. And honestly, I'm kind of excited to see what amazing things German companies will do with it.
Me too. It's a really exciting time to be watching this space.
Absolutely. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive into AI and German SMEs. Big thanks to everyone for joining us as always, and we'll catch you next time for another fascinating look at the world of business and technology.